Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
Well, hello and welcome to a brand new week of Undercurrent. I'm Christy Molliger. Well, hopefully by now you are well aware that this week is NAIDOC week, with plenty of exciting activities happening around the place, which you'll be hearing about throughout the show. But first up, Sarah Miller was lucky enough to be invited to the opening ceremony, so let's take a look at what she saw.
Well, it's NAIDOC Week, a celebration and recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture. This year is particularly important as it's the 40th anniversary of the Aboriginal Tent Embassy. Today I'm at Wellington Square for the opening ceremony of NAIDOC Week, kicking off over 100 events around Perth.
Look at the sky and tell me what you feel.
A week-long time that we can celebrate our culture as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but also showcase our cultures to other people throughout the wider Perth community, and also recognising our survival and our achievements as Indigenous peoples.
Well, the attendance shows it all. There's so many Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people here today supporting us, and I think that shows the support that we have behind us to support NAIDOC Week.
What made me want to get involved, I guess, is basically just giving back to the community. I think if you've got a talent, whatever it may be, if you can utilise that talent and give back to your community, it doesn't have to be Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal, it's just in any form of whatever we do in the world. So it's about giving back for me. You can't take it with you when you go, I should say, and yeah, it's just great to be a part of it.
From the day we met, I have to say, my last
Aboriginal people back then, or the four guys that started it off, have actually fought for the rights for Aboriginal people that we've got today, which, you know, we wouldn't have those rights today if it wasn't for those people fighting back then.
60 years of racism I've had in this country. The government always said whether you're half caste, quarter caste, or a full blood, you are branded a nigger. But now we're speaking out since the referendum, but we still got a long way to go.
The problems we have to overcome, I think, is just understanding. We have to get people to understand what the culture's about and the struggles that people have gone through. My wife didn't even know that Indigenous people couldn't vote until 1967. When that referendum was held, it's such a landmark thing in our lives, in our families, but it's so nice for people to be aware of that. The struggle continues, but I think we just have to keep pushing on and moving forward and thinking positive.
I think as a community we can come together as one united voice and, you know, voice our opinions and also show or tell the government, you know, these are our issues. But I think through NAIDOC, our aim is to show that, you know, we're still here, we're surviving, and our culture is still strong. Despite colonisation and dispossession, our culture is still strong.
I think what people can come along and see as part of what we've had here today is an amazing experience for their kids to see what Indigenous culture is about and see it firsthand. See the young kids learning the dances from the elders. You know, let's see how this stuff's handed down. This oral history is vitally important to our culture here, and I would implore anyone, you know, that if they're watching, to come along and enjoy these days with us. They're for us, not just for, you know, Indigenous people. It's for everyone, the whole community.
To all the Nongas, I ask you now to join us all in our sacred ground. The court, you know, the heart of this land is that we Aboriginal people have got to get together. For NAIDOC Week, it's going to be a big week, and we must all unite as one
Thanks to a sausage sizzle and today's headlined act, Troy Casadaley, everyone had a great time. Not just Indigenous, but many people from all over Perth came to celebrate NAIDOC. I'm Sarah Miller, reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, isn't it amazing how quickly a year goes by? It was around about this time last year I was telling you all about the WA Education Awards. Well, nominations are open again, and next up is all the information you need to know. Well, for many of us, our school days are far behind us, but memories of a teacher that made a lasting impression can last for a lifetime, which just goes to say the old saying, a good teacher might be worth their weight in gold, may indeed be true. And the WA Education Awards for 2012 aim to celebrate just that. Now in their 5th year, the WA Education Awards honour the many tireless and passionate teachers and support staff who work in the public education system. Last year, we here at WTV were lucky enough to cover the awards ceremony at the Perth Convention Exhibition Centre and met many of the worthy winners. And if anyone knows what it feels like to take home such a prestigious award, it's Esther Hill, who won the WA Premier Secondary Teacher of the Year Award at the WA Education Awards in 2011.
It was a surprise, and it was a real honour to be nominated for the awards. To be nominated is a really sort of special thing, and it's great recognition for the work that you do. It was pretty amazing to win the category. You're kind of surrounded by all these amazing people who do amazing work, and not just at the awards and the other nominees, but the people that I work with every day are pretty incredible. So to be nominated and to win the award is pretty exciting.
Has winning the award changed your career at all?
I guess for me it's brought recognition to some of the work that I do in terms of thinking in the curriculum and the place that I believe thinking should be taking within curriculum, and certainly with the new national curriculum where critical and creative thinking is very much a part of that. It sort of has a platform for that to be spoken about and for people to see the work that I've done and the work. The philosophy around thinking in the curriculum is that rather than teaching students to do things, we teach students how to think and how to articulate that thinking in order to have a deep understanding of what they're learning. So rather than just learning and doing, they're being taught to think.
For this year's awards, there is a total of $264,000 in prizes for winners and state finalists across 9 categories. This year, the awards also include a brand new category, WA Premier's Early Childhood Teacher of the Year. The awards are getting better every year, something the WA Education Department can truly be proud of. Now, Gary, the awards are a wonderful event, aren't they?
Outstanding event, Christy. We last year's awards in December, the actual breakfast was just a fantastic celebration of teaching in Western Australia. The teachers work very, very hard. They're highly educated, very, very professional, and they make an outstanding contribution to their school as well as their community. And it's just wonderful to see our parents and our teachers and our children and our students taking the time and effort to nominate all those outstanding teachers and support staff and principals and deputy principals and heads of departments that make enormous benefit to society by educating our young people.
Now, with the Education Awards, of course, we are celebrating the best of the best. What do you think makes a good teacher?
Love for children, love for the job, love working with people, and you really want to help people. So I think they are vital ingredients to make an outstanding teacher.
The nominations close on August 10, and for more information you can visit the WA Education Awards website. The winners will be announced at a breakfast ceremony on December 3, and we'd like to wish all the nominees the very best of luck. I'm Christy Mollica, reporting for Undercurrent. Well, we know we are a little bit early, but this week we thought we'd take to the streets to find out if you think Labor or Liberal will come up trumps in the next election. Miles Riley is most interested to hear what you have to say. We
With a state election scheduled for March next year, we're here on the streets of Perth to find out who you will be voting for. Will you be voting Labor or Liberal in the next election?
What did I say? Labor, I think.
Yeah. And why will you be voting Labor?
Steve Irons, I think, a part of the Labor team, and Colin Barnett also as well.
Liberal, actually.
And so why would you be voting Liberal?
Labor hasn't done a great job the last couple of years, so we might as well give someone else a go.
I haven't actually given it a lot of thought, to be quite honest. Close to the time I'll take a bit more notice and see what's happening.
Probably Liberal.
And why is that?
Because I don't really know much about it, but I feel like the economy is pretty well balanced at the moment. Australia's in a pretty good position, so is Perth and WA, so I think why change it?
In an ideal world, I wouldn't vote for any, but I'm going to use my power, and I think probably work for Labor, actually. Yeah.
I'm split decision at the moment.
It'll be Labor. I'm always a Labor man, so I believe in fighting for the person who can't fight for themselves. So generally, the Labor government will do that for them.
I'm an old ALP voter from way back, and basically I prefer them to the coalition, so I end up voting for them because I've voted Greens in the past, but in the end I just prefer to just know the ALP are in.
I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? How do you know?
The Greens.
The Greens. And why? Oh, sorry, yep.
Because Labor and Liberal don't really seem to have things together. I mean, both teams seem to be disagreeing with each other. They don't actually seem to be getting policies through. And the Greens actually seem to make a difference, so...
Liberal Party.
And why are you voting for the Liberal Party?
So I think they're doing a lot of good things for the state and driving some change, which is something we need a lot of.
Are there any election issues that could possibly sway your vote?
I didn't like how the Sunday trading came straight in, but that's done and dusted.
Look, on conservation and stuff, if they get bigger into the conservation and again, fighting for the people at lower level, so fighting for the employee, not the employer.
The education, hospitals, I'd like to see a lot more impacted on there, so it would be good.
At the moment, I just think for me it would probably be around state development and public transport.
Maybe uranium mining. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
As long as someone voted for a superhero in town.
Yeah.
To bring me along.
Well, the people of Perth appear to be divided on the issue. While many believe the current Liberal Party are doing an effective job, there are those who argue that a change of government is needed if WA is to continue moving forward. I'm Miles Riley, reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, I never tire of hearing your opinions, and I guess only time will tell. I'm Christy Mollica. Can't wait to see you for more Undercurrent after the break.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.